Do you want to be able to tell if the person that is preaching to you in church every Sunday is actually a pastor or an imposter? Then I have great news for you, because the Bible tells us how we can tell. And so first I want to give you some history on what it is the sons of the bride chamber. What are they? The sons of the bride chamber were tasked with guarding the bride and making sure they were security guards for the bride, making sure they were friends of the groom, and they were making sure that no false grooms tried to get in and mess with the bride. So this is very significant for the passage that we're going to read here today. And Scripture tells us that when Jesus was asked about fasting by the disciples of the Pharisees and the disciples of John the Baptist, his answer was, "Can the sons of the bride chamber fast or mourn as long as the bridegroom is with them? But there will come a time when the bridegroom will be taken from them, and then they will fast." So the people that are tasked with guarding the bride, which we know to be the church, they will fast. This was expected of them by Jesus, and so I want you to know that if your pastor is not pouring himself out for the afflicted, then, like in Thessalonians, we see that the gospel can be preached in word only or in word and power. So the only way that the gospel can reach us and reach the lost is if it's preached in word and power. So that means that person is standing in the gap between holy God and sinful man. What was Jesus' ministry other than intercessory? What is he doing right now? He's interceding for us. So we are never more like Jesus than when we are standing in that gap and interceding for the lost, interceding for our families, interceding for the church. And if your pastor is not doing this, and he's not allowing God to make him that well-watered garden of Isaiah 58, where your light is shining forth like the noonday, your healing bursting out and quickly appearing, if he's not participating in a day pleasing to the Lord, the fast that the Lord has chosen, the weapon he has chosen to break the cords of the yoke and to cut the cords of the yoke and to break the yokes of oppression in servitude to sin, then that pastor is not an actual pastor. He's an imposter. Just like Satan can present himself as an angel of light, so his ministers also present themselves as ministers of righteousness. Now, it could be that your pastor just is uninformed and he didn't know that he's supposed to be staying in this gap because he's been taught wrong. I hope that's the case. But either way, whether he's just misinformed or uninformed, or whether he does it on purpose, doesn't matter. If it's still happening, it needs to change. So counsel your pastor and find out, make sure that you have a pastor that loves you and is being willing to pour himself out for you. God bless. I hope this helps. I really want you guys to know, have a real pastor.